Don't fuck up, don't fuck yourself, and don't fuck up and don't fuck yourself, and then gobble, 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 gobble. Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Welcome to the Rude Cooking School podcast. I'm your host, John Hauser III, and with me is the indomitable,
the fabulous, the hungry for turkey, Jeni Pack.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good. How you doing?
I'm all right. I've had a bad day, and I'm going to get over it with this dumb podcast.
Sounds good.
It is Thanksgiving time.
Yes.
We're a week away, which I think.
What the fuck? Where did that come from?
Exactly. yesterday was November 1st, and now we're a week away. And I literally was like, I got like those like just chills up your spine, like, oh God, like, oh no. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I haven't planned anything. And yeah, I'm terrified.
It's like we've never done this every year for the last 30
this one
years.
snuck up on me. What's funny is I have
it really did. True.
I have everything planned. I have the turkey ordered. Leanna ordered the turkey, so we're going to go get that on Saturday. You know, I got some extra necks that are nice and smoked. You know, that'll be the gravy. Those are the two main things. Gravy to just, if I fuck everything up, just throw gravy on it, it'll be fine. And then the turkey, which, you know, I'm gonna dry brine that motherfucker for like 3 days, I think. Or 4
That's the
3 or
way to
4
do
days.
it.
So I'm gonna do
My
like
favorite way.
I'll do like 2 days in a bag and then 2 days out of the bag to really, really dry that sumbitch off.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Which really makes a difference because, like, you know, because when I do my dry brine, I do salt, but then I add baking powder to help.
Yeah.
It's a food lab trick that
Dry
I
out
learned.
the skin. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Changes the pH and it dries it out. It's weird because it makes your turkey look really weird when it dries out because it's all like swirly. You can see the white powder on top of it. Looks like the turkey was doing a bunch of cocaine. And then
have you done that before? Does it really make a difference?
I think so. Yeah, it does. And then right before it goes in the oven, I rub it with some oil and then all the white stuff goes away. And then you get that like shattering, hard, glassy, nice, crispy turkey skin, which is my favorite part of the whole damn thing.
Yeah, it's very good.
But the drying part really, really, really helps. You know, it's like any, you know, like, you know, you used to smoke fish and stuff. Like, I'm sure you guys dried the fish to create a pellicle before you put it in the smoker, right? Like,
dry cure is where it's at. Even for my fried, like southern fried chicken.
Yeah.
Before I dredge it and everything, I dry cure my chicken parts uncovered.
For how long?
Just overnight. I've done it for 2 days, but overnight is enough. And that really keeps the skin attached to the, because like you're going to have a crust because it's breaded. So it's not necessarily for crisp, but it does crisp up that skin a little bit better. Mm-hmm. So you're not getting like that fatty, like rubbery skin underneath. Right. But it also helps it stick to the chicken. So when you take a bite, it doesn't rip off the entire skin and the crust. It really makes a difference. And flavor-wise, I think it gets in there. And I used to do the buttermilk brine, but even if I just do it overnight, which is how long you're supposed to do it, I don't like the texture. It gets very like hammy to me. Like I don't want fried chicken to be that way.
I see what you're saying.
So I do the dry cure with my fried chicken.
Interesting.
That's the way to go for me.
Yeah, the turkey, and we'll get into it later because there's a question coming up about how to cook your turkey, and I've done it a bunch of ways. I've done it in pieces. I've done it whole. I've done it spatchcock. I've done it in the road. I've done it on a house. I've done it with a mouse. I've done it in a pan. I've done it. I've deep fried it. I've braised it. Like, you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the way I'm probably going to do it this year is normally I just spatchcock it. Spatchcocking, I find, saves so much time.
Oh, yeah. You have to.
I
don't think in any situation, no matter what you do to the bird, cooking it whole, at least in the oven, is the last way I would ever do it.
Okay, great. This brings us up to, have you been on, you're a member of the Rude Cooking School Facebook page.
Yes.
You're a moderator, in fact.
Of course.
I'm going to show you a picture. I got this ad, and then I jokingly posted it. Like, holy shit, what is this weird turkey dildo thing, yellow submarine dinosaur dildo thing that they keep trying to force on me? And here, let me share my screen. Go away.
I'm like,
this thing
so
is
curious.
Fucking bananas. Nothing's working for me here. Here we go.
Literally.
This is what I keep getting.
Here it comes. Ooh, yeah.
So
that is definitely a apparatus.
It's called a
shove up your turkey's ass.
It's called a turkey stone. Okay. And for the life of me, I can't imagine this fucking thing works.
I don't get the point of it because, like, you literally have a built-in cavity inside the turkey. Why would you just add another cavity to it to fill up? Like,
so watch the video.
I don't get it.
So we're watching this video.
Okay.
They open it up. They're putting in herbs. They're putting in, look like a giant piece of saffron, bunch of saffron herbs, more herbs. They're putting a beer in it now. And then they're not even lubing that turkey up. They're just jamming it in there. And then you put it in the oven. But like, they're really putting like a lot of bullshit in there. They're putting a bunch of herbs. They're putting salt, which makes no fucking sense.
So guys, you can look this up. It's called a turkey stone.
So rosemary,
it pretty much
dried
looks
herbs,
like a submarine.
Yeah, beer.
Or like a neti pot.
Yeah, almost like a neti pot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
With holes in it, I guess, for like the aromatics, the steam to come out and steam from the inside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
But like.
You've seen it.
Putting that cold stone inside a cold turkey, it's going to take forever. Even the stone is going to like take forever to heat up.
So they have a small one. They have a small one for chickens. They have a big one for turkeys, right?
Oh my God, that little one really looks like a dildo.
Yeah, it really does.
With really big balls.
Yes, yeah. The crazy thing is, like, there's no way it works.
Yeah, I don't know
so
if it's
this is
having a kitchen appliance that looks like takes up a lot of space that has one use for once a year.
I will say this, it looks cool. I like the design of it. I think it looks cool. I guarantee you it does not work worth a shit.
Yeah.
For two factors.
No.
One, if you're putting salt in there, that the salt's not going to get anywhere. Two, you're putting all these herbs and shit in there. That's, once it starts steaming, it's going to fragrance it a little bit on the inside, but you don't eat the inside of the turkey, right?
No.
3, for the beer that you're pouring in there, which you're probably pouring in cold, for that to finally hit 210 degrees to start boiling to create steam, your turkey is toast. Because if it's 210 degrees on the inside, because you're plugging that hole up.
Cold stone thing? Yeah.
Right. Your turkey is fucked. And I'm sure there's some carryover from the head because the head's sticking out of the turkey and then, that heats up and heats the thing. But like, is
there a hole in the head where the steam comes out that way?
No.
Then it kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, that would defeat the purpose. There's a plug.
Yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, I don't get it. It's the same kind of concept of why I don't like stuffing in a turkey.
Exactly.
Like, it just doesn't make sense. You're making the cooking time longer, which is literally, like, the reason your turkey's dry isn't because you don't have enough moisture or steam inside. It's because it's cooking unevenly, and you have to cook it too long for the breast to get the legs done. That's why you spatchcock or take it apart.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. But I've been getting, as a joke, I posted it. And now, because I had to click on the site to go see the thing, to take a picture, to copy the picture to put it on the thing. Like, can you fucking believe this weird thing? And then the algorithm goes, oh, he looked at it. He might want to see this all the fucking time.
Thinking about it. They're literally shoving it down your throat or up your butt.
They're literally shoving it in my turkey cavity. Yeah. The thing that's crazy is
there's beer and aromatics in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there goes our endorsement from Turkey Stone. But I mean,
shit.
Seriously,
Man,
take a look at the thing.
For a free one.
It's also why, like beer can chicken doesn't work. Like that's a myth too.
It's fun though. It looks good.
Right. But sometimes that's different because, if you have that on a grill and it's sitting up, the chicken, that stuff might boil if it's over high heat. But if you have it over high heat, the whole bottom of your chicken's going to burn the shit before,
Yeah. I've actually cooked like 12 beer can chickens at one time.
Okay.
Outside, like on a big grill smoker. It was pretty much smoked, but like pretty high heat for a chicken. It wasn't super slow. I did 12 of them, and I don't know if the beer really made a difference. The chickens turned out great, but what I loved about it was, one, you open it up. I think I have a picture somewhere. If I can find it, I will post it on our Facebook page. But it's like kind of what's awesome about rotisserie chicken, where all around, including the bottom, gets nice and crispy and cooked.
Yeah.
Instead of like that sitting on the bottom somewhere, in a pan.
That's the key is the way it's sitting. Absolutely. Because all the stuff drips down and coats the whole bird. And there's 360 degrees all the way around air.
Yeah, so the dark meat cooks faster, and so your white meat is okay.
Right.
Like, it turned out great. Like, it was fun to open that thing up, and there are literally like 12 chickens saluting me.
Hello!
Like,
hello! Yeah.
We're done!
Bark, 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 bark. Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna spatchcock my bird. I'm gonna brine it for 4 days. Sometimes I throw in orange peel. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that. Orange peel makes a really big difference on the skin, but not really too much on the meat. But I do like the way it tastes. It makes it really festive tasting.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Like, I like the orange peel added into my cranberry sauce.
Me too.
And that kind of adds it, so I can add it as I'm eating it or have bites without it. I don't know if I like it on my turkey. We
stopped doing it for the last couple years because I guess for like a one shot, maybe for a chicken, it's good. For a turkey where you're having leftovers and you want a blank canvas, the forcefulness of the orange kind of gets in the way sometimes. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
But it does, it gets in the meat a little bit. If you're doing like a 3-day brine, it gets up in there. So, yeah, probably not. I think I just talked myself out of it. Not that I wasn't going to do it, but I was thinking about it. So, okay. First off, what kind of Thanksgiving dinner are you doing? What are you doing? Are you even cooking?
Yes. We're doing more of a potluck thing this year. Last year, I got really excited and demanded to cook the entire Thanksgiving dinner and went crazy, and it was good. It was fun.
Just the thing you needed.
Had my shit together. Yeah. So, and I went crazy with the turkey. I think I cooked the legs. No. I deboned the entire turkey, the dark meat and the white meat, and I did roulade.
Holy shit, that's all. Oh shit, yeah, hell yeah. I think we talked about this last year.
Yeah. It turned out good, but I don't know if I would good enough to make it worth the work. And also it didn't feel Thanksgiving-y enough. Like it just didn't, because I'm realizing more and more I'm a little bit of a traditionalist, or I'm very nostalgic about my Thanksgiving of like what we had when I was a kid. So I'm kind of going backwards this year, and with my turkey, I am taking it apart. and cooking the legs separately from the, not even spatchcocking. I'm literally taking all the pieces apart. I'm only dry curing for about 2 days with salt and pepper. Mm-hmm. That's it. Going super traditional. Going all in on the gravy though, like gonna get all the backbone and giblets and all of that, and maybe some extra necks for the gravy. And what else am I doing? I'm doing, of course, mashed potatoes, really simple. And I'm doing started doing maybe like 2 years ago, like a pumpkin dish.
Okay.
Like a roasted pumpkin dish with like pomegranate seeds. This is definitely not something I grew up with, but I hate.
Got this from the Hellman,
like
didn't
the
you?
classic sweet potato. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Pretty much it's like kind of my take on like the Hellman has this pumpkin dish, like this traditional Afghani pumpkin dish that's fucking to die for.
The Hellman is
and it's like
a Afghani restaurant in Baltimore that makes amazing food, but their pumpkin dish is fucking like miraculous.
Yeah, I could eat just a whole main course of that. And it's so simple. It's like steamed pumpkin, and then it's covered with this like garlic yogurt.
Yeah.
And you can also get like a non-vegetarian side where it's this like sauce of like ground beef that's like very subtly seasoned.
Yeah, that's
and like
so
with the yogurt. So fucking good. But I go a little like brighter since Thanksgiving tends to be lacking in freshness sometimes. So I go like fresh mint, I do a garlic yogurt sauce, pomegranate seeds, and kind of what else I'm feeling festive. Oh, and I'll do a little bit of a, God, what is it called? Like the Italian sweet and sour sauce. Like,
an agrodolce.
I'm friggin' done. An agrodolce. I usually do like a pomegranate. I'll, use like a pomegranate syrup. Like you use in like kind of Turkish cooking.
Yeah.
I'll use that and some vinegar and some seasoning and do an agrodolce and drizzle that so there's like a little punch of acid
on the
with
pumpkin.
The sweet, so
nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's good. My mother-in-law is making the stuffing, which I'm really excited about, and it's a family recipe. I forgot to ask her if she's making her cranberry relish, but hers is really good. It's very classic and delicious. And yeah. And our cousin is making the corn pudding. Her corn pudding is amazing. Or did I get that backwards? Is she making the stuffing and Carol's making the corn pudding? Anyway, all the traditional stuff is getting made. Lila's making challah rolls.
Challah.
With honey butter.
Nice.
And cute little buns like that. They're going to be braided, like little individual buns.
She's doing like little baby challahs. That's cute.
Yeah. I think just for fun. And Alan is making a coconut custard pie.
Oh, nice.
That's a classic recipe from his mom, I believe. And Lila grew up eating that. So, and like, I got kind of pissed because we've known each other for like over 25 years and I've never had this pie. Like, how am I just this year hearing about this coconut custard pie?
Have you ever had coconut custard pie?
It's insane. I've had coconut custard pie, but not their family recipe coconut custard pie. Yeah, I didn't even know it existed. Family
secret, man. They eat it when you're not around.
I know.
They all make it, and then Lila leaves and sneaks to their house, and they fucking have a coconut custard pie party.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is what's going on. I feel
how long have you guys been together?
Betrayed.
Like, how long have you guys been together?
Oh, God, like, I don't know.
20 years?
What is it? 22 years? 22 years.
And you're just hearing about the coconut pie.
Yeah, that's fucked up, isn't it? Yeah. I'm not even kidding. I'm genuinely mad.
I would be too. It's really funny how... is that everything for you?
Yeah, I think there might be some surprises in there, but we're taking it really relaxed this year. We've had a tough couple weeks, really.
Yeah.
And like for real, it snuck up on us. So we're taking it relaxed. There's going to be some wine, and we're all going to be together. And no matter what, we always have way too much food. Yeah. So we'll be happy. Yeah.
It's really funny because your Thanksgiving dinner and my Thanksgiving dinner are lining up a lot. And it's funny because I think during COVID, we were like, let's do traditional. We did one that was traditional and then one that was funky before we could have people over. And then I think last year we did a relatively regular one, but this year we're like, all right, let's do just fucking just straight ahead, no bullshit. Thanksgiving dinner. So we're doing, the turkey. And I actually haven't figured out. I know that I'm gonna at least do spatchcocking. I've cut up my turkey before and done it in waves. And that's probably the best way to go. I'm kind of already answering a question that someone asked, but yeah. But I don't know. I kind of like having it all done at once because I'm lazy. I'm just like, fuck it. But so we're gonna do that. We're gonna do mashed potatoes and gravy, cranberry sauce always. I'm just the whole like cranberries in, sugar, salt, fucking orange juice, orange peel.
Simple,
let it go,
and it's delicious.
Yeah, and it's amazing, right? I'm gonna do stuffing muffins because that's our thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot you do that.
Yeah, I love those things just because they're so crispy and they're so good. My in-laws, so it's gonna be us, me, Crosby, and Leanna, are my in-laws, and then my mother. So my in-laws wanted sweet potatoes, some sort of sweet potato thing, which we don't eat. So I'm just gonna, I've already asked them, they're like, well, if you don't, it's fine. And I'm like, just tell me what you want. I'll make it. It's okay. I don't need to eat.
Is it the classic with the marshmallows?
I think that's what they want. And that's, if they don't tell me, that's what they're going to get. Cause I'm making it whether they tell me or not. Cause fuck it. Like, I'm going to make rolls this year. I'm going to make Parker House rolls. I normally make big old hunkin' like hot mix rolls that are like really big and hard on the outside and
poofy.
Yeah. So when after the dinner's done, the next day you have like rolls to make sandwiches with. But Leanna was like, can we just get smaller rolls and that are softer? And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, fine. So I'm gonna make Parker House rolls. No big deal. We're gonna do a kale salad with apple and cheddar, which I really, really like.
Oh, that's nice.
That'll be the thing that Leanna makes.
Yeah.
And it's a really
the green fresh.
And it's fresh and it's it's like vibrant, but then there's that little bit of cheddar to be like, hey, guess what? Like it's a nice, and it's like a light vinaigrette, like I'll probably do like a champagne vinaigrette for that. It's really nice. And then the one thing we wanted, one thing, and I'm researching it, and I'm kind of like, I don't know how we're gonna do this. We were like, we should have one thing that's like non-traditional, like just throw a thing in there. And we were like, how about stuffed onions?
Stuffed onions?
Yeah. So like,
what? Explain further.
So there's an Afghani dish that's like stuffed onions where you kind of take like a meat mixture with like rice and stuff, and you put it in like just like one big outer piece, and then you kind of roll it up. But I'm talking like you kind of core out a smaller onion and then fill it with stuff and then braise that motherfucker until like the onions just like completely fall apart, but still stuffed. So like I'm thinking like wild rice and something, maybe some sausage, and herbs, but I don't want it to fight the stuffing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, I love onion.
Me too.
Onion, raw onion, cooked up, everything. But I don't know. I feel like there are other vessels that would be better.
I'm just thinking that way. But
I love stuffed peppers, stuffed cabbage.
Right.
I know you're trying to think out of the box.
Yeah. And I'm thinking if the onions are small enough, like nobody can get like a full fucking onion because it's too much. Right. Or maybe if you cut an onion in half, like a big onion, and take the middle out and then do it that way. And then you get like a little bowl of, onion. I don't know. I still haven't, I really started looking at stuff last night. I was trying to like look at YouTube videos and shit. And man, the amount of people that have cooking YouTube channels that are like,
oh my God,
1 second away from chopping all of their fingers off is horrifying. There was a guy who had an onion who was cutting that motherfucker like this in his hand,
holding it
while he's holding it. And his fingers were like wrapped around the onion as well. Not even like kind of like trying to get his fingers out of the way. It's like, dude, what the fuck is wrong?
And not even in the like, oh, it's an old Italian grandma where they cut everything in their hand.
No, it's like a guy in his 30s.
Good at it. It's an idiot who has a cooking show but doesn't know how to use a knife.
Fucking crazy. Oh, and then at the end, we ordered pies the other day, and we are getting pumpkin, chocolate, which I asked for, and the next one. Coconut custard pie.
Nice. Ooh,
coconut custard's
lining up.
Coconut custard's my favorite pie and Leanna's favorite pie.
Oh yeah, it is. I don't know if it's my favorite pie, but it is way up there. And coconut cake. I love coconut.
Anything
cake.
Coconut, Leanna's a
We
maniac
had coconut cake for our wedding.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Chocolate pie is a thing. Like we gotta have pumpkin because pumpkin, right? And then chocolate pie was a thing that I grew up with, where basically you just took the pie thing and you just poured chocolate pudding mixed with a little gelatin, and then so it sets up better. So you don't cut into it and it all oozes out and shit.
And a shit ton of whipped
cream. Hell
cream.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
It's great.
I grew up with sweet potato pie because like no one liked pumpkin pie, so we would order sweet potato pie. And I don't remember.
There ain't no difference.
And I don't remember. It is.
Different spice
pumpkin
mixture.
Pie is like watery. No, the spicing is the same, but it's the texture. I find that pumpkin pie is like watery.
Interesting.
Like, I don't know. The texture of sweet potato pie is better. But at the end of the day, none of those are really even in my top 5. I'd rather go a fruited pie like cherry or apple.
Okay.
Or obviously coconut, or anything chocolate. So we usually go apple for Thanksgiving, but I think we're realizing every year that all of us like the idea of apple pie, apple crumble, all those dishes, but they're never good. Like, they're only really good when someone has really mastered a particular recipe.
I prefer an apple crumble over an apple pie. And honestly, it's really just a vehicle for ice cream.
True.
You know what I mean?
Now, yeah. Do you do flavored ice cream or does it have to be vanilla?
I normally do vanilla, but salted caramel ice cream on apple crumble is amazing.
Oh, that does sound lovely.
It's really, it's almost like eating it like a caramel apple.
Yeah. Speaking of ice cream, dude, we have been really stressed out, so we've been eating a lot of ice cream, and we are obsessed with Taharka's ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we've talked about them before. They've been around here in Baltimore forever, and god damn, their ice cream is good. I forgot about them for a while, and then we tried their pistachio.
It's amazing.
And their mint coffee.
Oh. Mint coffee?
Oh my god. Delicious. Oh no, it's a cookie coffee.
Oh.
Sorry. It's like I think
damn, did you just make something up?
Coffee?
I was about to say, Leanna would fucking go bananas for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do love their mint chocolate chips. Delicious too. They make mint chocolate chip. But their pistachio.
Their pistachio is really good.
Yeah, we bought a pint of each the other day, and it literally lasted like 3 days.
Yeah.
And yeah.
The pistachio is normally what I go for. Crosby goes, well, he used to go vanilla, but now he's branching out, so he's getting crazier things. And then Leanna usually gets, I don't know. Leanna gets a bunch of different, she'll switch it up a lot. She's unpredictable.
Yeah, I can see that. So
shout
do
out
we
to
have
them.
any other Thanksgiving cooking questions or anything?
Oh, I got a bunch of questions. So let's get into the questions.
Sure.
Question number 1 from our boy, top contributor is under his name, Soren Marquardt, says dressing recipes. Also, why is oyster dressing on your no-no list? Because I had talked about this a couple weeks ago. My dressing recipe, if you look up my name and stuffing muffins, it will pop up and you'll have the recipe. It's a very traditional stuffing. I do buy like a couple baguettes and cut them up the day before into cubes and let them sit out stale until the next day. And then actually 2 days before, stale it. Then a day before, I'll make the mix and then just let that sit overnight to just really get all of the bread just completely saturated with the egg and the stock. And then, it's onion and celery, and I normally do sausage and a ton of herbs, and then they all go into greased muffin cups and you bake them and they're delicious.
I gotta remember that because like the crusty part is the best. So it's crusty part.
Leanna hates salt.
Genius.
Like Leanna hates like
soggy
stuffing. Middle. Yeah. Just wet bread.
Yeah.
Is what she calls it.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. We usually don't have a soggy middle because I always use like a shorter, wider, like a really big wide pan. Mm-hmm. And it's not as like high. So you get a good layer of crust on top throughout.
Yeah. You could do it in a sheet pan too. That would be really smart.
Yeah. Oh, totally. But I go traditional too. Like it's one of those very, very comforting dishes, but there's not a lot of elements to it. So it's about like picking the right ingredients. Like you do baguette. I personally prefer like a good Italian loaf, but I cut it up, put it in a brown paper bag and just shake it up for a couple of days and it dries out. And I mean, people will toast it like the day before, but that's too much work for me.
I don't toast it at all. No, that's too, then you're making crouton. Yeah, you're doing like stovetop shit because once croutons hit water, they just disintegrate.
Yeah. If I remember to, I also love to tear my bread instead of cutting it. But sometimes I don't have the patience for it. So
I don't have the patience for it at all.
It goes back and forth with that. But my stuffing is very heavy on the celery and very heavy on fresh sage. Like that's where like that is my stuffing is my sage dish, which is like very Thanksgiving-y for me. And I don't put sage on my turkey, so it's like that's where it is. And and getting really good sausage of your choice, whatever kind of sausage you fucking like. Like
I used to do like Polish sausage. Like Ostrowski's, which was a local brand, but they went under.
Too, growing up. Yeah.
And then
so we usually do an Italian. Like sweet, I don't even go hot Italian. I go sweet Italian.
Yeah, I think I might go hot Italian.
Yeah.
I mean, I add a little bit of chili flake anyway, so why not?
Yeah, yeah. And like the stock is important. Like don't just use a box stock. I mean, it'll still be good, but heat up your stock and like if you're in a hurry, put a fucking rotisserie chicken, leftovers from a rotisserie chicken in your canned or box stock. Add some fresh herbs and zhuzh it up a bit. It makes such a huge difference. Or
there's still plenty of time. This comes out on Friday. If you're listening on Friday, buy a chicken, put it in a pot, cover it with water, throw in some, onion and celery and carrot, some couple bay leaves, and then just bring it to a simmer and let it go for an hour.
Yeah, you don't have to cut that shit. Just
throw
it in
whole
there.
thing.
Yeah.
Turn it off. Let it sit for like 30 or 40 minutes. Strain the chicken out. Be careful. The chicken's still going to be really hot, but then you got that, or
fresh
if you have an instant, if you have an Instant Pot, fucking, take a bunch of chicken wings and throw them in a pot or chicken feet or, whatever. Just, same thing. Water, bones.
And you're going to need
herbs.
it for the gravy anyway.
Yeah.
So you have this like really good, it's worth making homemade stock because you're not just using it for the stuffing, you're using it for the gravy.
And make a bunch. Make a day of it. Like I always make a shit ton of it because then I have a bunch for the gravy. I have a bunch for like if anything's a little dry, like if the turkey's a little dry, Hey, guess what happens? Boop. You hit it with some fucking hot turkey stock right after you cut it. Nobody's complaining. It's great.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, stuffing. It's amazing. Technically, it's dressing.
Dressing, yes.
I call them stuffing muffins just because it rhymed and it sounded cute. But it's dressing. Stuffing, don't do stuffing. It's terrible. It makes you're putting your life in your own hands.
Just Google it. It is become universally accepted that stuffing your turkey with stuffing is a no-no.
Yeah. Thank you, Alton Brown, by the way. Jefferson Steele, photographer par excellence, says
that is a cool ass name.
Jefferson Steele. Yeah. Do you know Jefferson? He used to shoot familiar. He used to shoot for the city paper. Like, you've definitely seen his work. He's an amazing photographer. Yeah. He says, how long do I roast 2 Cornish hens? How do I keep them moist but get a nice brown skin? I'll let you go first on that.
I don't know how long. What would you say? Well, first, dry brine.
Definitely dry brine.
Definitely dry brine. I mean, I would love to spatchcock them, but I know the whole reason of doing Cornish game hen, I feel like sometimes is people love the presentation of them whole. And it's a little bit easier to cook them evenly because they're so small compared to a turkey. But I would definitely do a quick sear first, like in a cast iron pan.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And if I have a giant cast iron pan, so I could put 4 in there. But sear the breast first, and then sear the bottom, and then roast it in the cast iron pan, so it's kind of cooking from the bottom up. And so that's kind of how I do my whole roast chicken, is I sear it in a cast iron pan and finish it in the oven in the pan, so the bottom's already started with the cooking. So by the time that's done, the breast is succulent, juicy. Throw aromatics directly into the pan, sprigs of rosemary, sage, onion, whatever the hell you want. You can literally cut a whole head of garlic in half and just throw it in there, and then all the juices and oil you can strain and make a sauce out of that. But yeah, pretty simple. Don't stuff them.
No, God no. Yeah. I would definitely brine them, for a day. Do it the night before, because they're so small they don't need time to really get in there. But I would do a dry brine. I don't think what you're saying about searing them off before is not a bad idea. I would say the main thing you should focus on is going out and getting a temperature gauge.
Yes.
If you have what do you call it? Why is my brain not working? Thermometer,
thermometer.
Thermometer. If you have a digital thermometer that can be inserted into one of the cold, the coldest part of the breast or the leg. It's probably the breast for them.
Tiny though.
Yeah, I would think it would be the breast for a Cornish game hen. Sear it off in the pan, like she said, lots of aromatics, and then into a 425 oven, but make sure you have that thermometer in there, and I'd cook it to 155. Everybody's going to tell you 165, but once you get to 165, the carryover heat's going to take it at least to 1.
It's at least 10 degrees,
which is why
it goes up.
Mm-hmm. So maybe even you can get away with 150,
Yeah. I'd say what do you think? If you pre-seared it, I feel like you'd be good in 35 minutes at 425.
Yeah. I mean, that's why you have the thermometer, because it'll tell you, which is why you don't have to keep looking, because if you're looking, you ain't cooking, right? You're letting all that heat out every time you open up the oven. So I would
10 minutes of cooking time every time you open that oven.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fucking crazy to think about, but it, heat rises, and as soon as you open up the oven, it all fucking comes out.
Yep, and it takes that 10 minutes just for the temperature to come back up.
Sucks all that cold air in.
Cooking temp, and definitely, if you haven't already, invest in a thermometer that like has a probe and you don't have to with the wire that connects to the digital thing. And it really is a lifesaver and as a professional cook, you know,
and
like,
you can get one for $15 now, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can order one on Amazon, you know?
I find, and like people always think like, oh, it breaks after like a year of use, that it's been like sitting in a cupboard, like, you know, all knotted up and stuff, but you just have to recalibrate them, like super easy.
I've actually had really bad luck with digital thermometers. Leanna's for the last couple years got me like really good ones from ThermoWorks, and they're like $100 thermometers, and they've broken within a year.
Yeah. I have the same issue. The really nice, expensive ones,
I just go with shitty ones now.
I get low to mid range. Like I don't spend more than like $20. On thermometers, but you don't need to.
No,
there's really good ones out there.
And to be fair, I'm hard on them because you know I got them attached to grills, and you know, but still, they should be breaking within a year. But yeah, that's what you should do.
Have you seen those Bluetooth? Like it looks like a little.
I want one so bad.
And, like,
I want one so bad. I want one so bad.
I want one, but also I feel like that is just way too much technology for simple like. For cooking.
But I'm also not going to spend $100.
Way overkill.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend $100. But I'm like, oh my God, I could have
They're fucking cool.
I could have like 4 or 5 of those all at one point, and it all goes on my phone, and I can tell what everything is cooking at the same time.
Yeah.
Like that really kind of fucking flips my bean, and I'm like, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. Could you imagine, like, especially even big cuts, like a whole pig?
Right.
Like if you're for smoking, like, God.
You could, you could have
pretty cool.
You could have the shoulders and the belly and the legs. Yeah, totally. Johanna Smith says, how do I avoid cooking anything? I just wanted to make my specialty reservations, but my family said no. I think she's kind of tongue in cheek. Johanna's a personal chef and caterer, and she says she's cranking out so much food weekly, she'd like to have a day off, which, By the way, Johanna did our amazing charcuterie spread at our recommitment ceremony. You didn't.
Nice.
You weren't
No,
there. You hate me.
Because I don't love you.
I know. He's sad.
That was very sad.
But she did a great job. All the food was great. All the snackies and the sides and the dips and all that stuff. Everybody was really, really impressed with it. Thank you again, Johanna. I would just tell them we're going out to dinner, or just, you guys cook it. You cook for me.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
I always hate when people think if you cook for a living that you want to cook for everyone also at home.
Yeah.
It's like, no. Am I asking you to do your job like for me? Okay, sometimes I am, but we usually trade favors in that case. But if you're a professional cook, you don't always want to cook.
My brother-in-law is a professional cook, and he fucking hated every time he had to do anything. I would go out of my way to be like, you don't have to, I'll just do it. And he's like, it's fine. They just expect me to do it. And it's like, no, it sucks. All right.
I love projects, like cooking projects where like I'm learning something new and it's experimenting and things like that, but not necessarily.
But Thanksgiving's like a fucking
all of Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving's like a day worth of cooking, especially if you cook all day and that's your job. Like,
girl, you need a day off, so tell them to fuck off. And but a great option is to order it, and there's some great support local people like you, chefs, restaurants that have some really great choices. My top pick, and I would 100% order from there if we weren't cooking, is Heritage Smokehouse. They're over up towards Belvedere Square Market on York Road. And they, they're known for their barbecue and everything, but also have just other amazing food, and their menu, look it up, Heritage Smokehouse. The menu looks to die for. I kind of wish he offered that like the week after also for people who just want it.
Chill. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's offering smoked turkeys, of course, but lots of other goodies.
Oh, that's cool.
I think he's doing smoked hams too. Yeah. And the side dishes look amazing. And desserts.
Sweet.
I don't know the guy. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're just saying I've had his food and it's amazing.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Lisa Marie Kuroto says, how do you deal with timing everything out? So many side dishes all at once does my head in.
You got to sit down and think it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
In a lot of things, you got to have a warming oven if that's possible for you. I'm lucky enough to have a big oven and a small oven, and the small oven becomes the warmer. The back burners all get full.
Yeah. I would write your menu down.
Good idea.
And write down where it's going, like if it's cooking on the stovetop, if it's cooking in the oven, what temp it's cooking at, and look at it on paper. Don't try to make sense of the jumble of it in your head.
By the way,
and I do this.
Yep. I was just about to say, every dish that I do for Thanksgiving, I handwrite longhand on a sterno pad, and name of it, everything that I need, how it should be cut up, and then just what
it helps you grocery shopping,
right? But real quick, like saute onion, add thing, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not anything involved, just because I know what I got to do, but like, what do I need to add next?
It's a lot of multitasking
because you're juggling so many plates. Yeah,
I always forget something.
Yeah, totally.
And I do this like a week ahead of time and start planning out literally prepping 4 days before or even a week before. Like you can do your stock a week ahead of time. You can do your stock a month at a time and freeze it. And so you just don't have to worry about it. You got to cut up and start drying your bread a couple of days ahead of time. Like a lot of times I have even made and cooked my stuffing the day before and just add a little more stock and reheat it.
Yeah.
So I have room in my oven and it can just be reheated at the end with things that are at that similar temperature. And measure your pans and make sure and find out how many pans you can fit in your oven.
At once.
I know I can fit 4 casserole dishes with good spacing. Don't squish them all together because the heat won't. You won't get
circulate.
Crusty tops if it's all on top of each other. But I mean, it's planning. You're making a lot of food, so you just
take a couple hours.
Down, and do the work, and definitely write it out.
I had something.
Sure.
I had something I was going to say, and it was going to be brilliant.
Are you sure?
Probably not. What were we talking about? Ovens? Oh shit. One thing that I do is one of the first things I do, because I do make my stock ahead of time. One of the first things I actually do make is gravy, and I get it rocket hot, and then I pour it into a giant insulated thermos, and then just stick that over to the side, and then that shit is still hot, 3 or 4 hours later. So
genius.
Yeah, just to get it out of the way. But I got this big what is that called when you get like the big beer that's in a growler? It's like a growler that's insulated, and I just fill it full of gravy, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
And then take the leftovers to lunch and chug a lug your gravy.
Hell yeah. Jason Eaton says, how do I keep boomers in my family from asking once again how to explain the new gender norms? I can't help you with that one. Also, what is your best method for keeping mashed potatoes warm when the oven is preoccupied? Crock-pot? No, I just keep it on the back. Mashed potatoes are one of the last things I do.
Me too.
I'll boil the potatoes and have them. So this is what I do. I have the potatoes ready. They're in water that is salted. They're already in the pot. I turn the pot on. I boil the shit out of I boil my potatoes so they're literally falling apart.
Oh, I forgot. That's the way you do yours. Yeah.
I strain them. I put them back in the pot over high heat or medium heat and keep stirring them to get the excess water out. Then you can hold them right there. You can just put the lid on, turn the heat off, then get your cream and your butter and if you want roasted garlic or whatever, and zip all that shit together in a blender. And then at the very end, pour that hot shit into your potatoes, turn it back on, heat it through, done. It's one of the last things I do.
Yeah.
Because you don't want your potatoes to crystallize.
It's one of the last things I do. Yeah, but I've made them like kind of mid all that preparation, and it's sat on the stovetop for like half an hour, and then I just like turn the heat back on and give it a quick little whisk, and it's fine.
Maybe a little stock, and you're good.
Yeah, or keep a little hot milk. Yeah. You could literally put a little milk in the microwave for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
And pour it in there to freshen it up a bit if it's thickened up.
Definitely done that before. Yep. Lindsay Heiler, friend of me and you and everyone in the world because she's a beautiful person. Lindsay Heiler says, what side would you want if you weren't going to have green bean casserole? We're not having green bean casserole.
Oh, I forgot to add, my brother is making green bean casserole. We'll see how that turns out.
I've come to a decision.
He usually just brings wine.
I've come to a decision for me, for the world. Green bean casserole is not good.
No, fuck you. It is.
No, it's not. You know what everybody...
Dude, it's green beans with friggin' cream gravy.
Nope, that's not what everybody loves. And I got to figure
that. You like the crispy onions.
It's exactly what everybody likes. That's the thing that has the flavor. That's the thing that has the MSG. That's what everybody likes. The fucking shitty, awful mushroom gravy's garbage because it's fucking, Campbell's. The green beans are frozen, awful, watery bullshit. It's the fucking...
I made mine from scratch.
See, I've done that before and it drove me crazy and I hated it. Because I had to make the mushroom gravy.
But it was a lot
I French fried my own fucking onions. It was horrible.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't do that. I definitely bought the onions. But I used fresh green beans. I roasted them really hot and then added the homemade... It was, mushroom gravy, it was more a mushroom gravy than a mushroom soup.
Yeah.
Like a mushroom bechamel.
It's a mushroom bechamel. It's cream of mushroom.
Yeah.
Which is mushroom bechamel. Yeah.
I mean, it's not healthy. It's technically a green vegetable, but it's not really.
It tastes good when you add a lot of soy sauce. Again, soy sauce. MSG.
Yes. Yeah.
MSG mushrooms. So just there's
all right. So
I'm trying
instead of green bean casserole, and it has to be a green vegetable dish. Or we're saying this is the replacement.
Yeah, just a side that you like.
Yeah. I like your kale salad.
Yeah.
That's like something fresh. And zippy.
Roasted cauliflower with like a fish sauce vinaigrette would be banging. Which is one of my favorite sides right now. Like if you do like Momofuku's fish sauce vinaigrette and then, with the chilies and it brightens up the roasted cauliflower or roasted broccoli are so fucking good. Right?
Yeah. So my aunt actually makes a great alternative to green bean casserole. Growing up, she made this every Thanksgiving and Christmas. I wouldn't say it's a traditional Korean dish, but it's definitely like her concoction of like Korean, Chinese, American, I guess. But it's a cold green bean dish. You can use regular green beans or haricot vert, and you blanch them so they're still nice and crunchy, and then chill them, of course, after you blanch them, and it's served cold, and you make a dressing with fresh scallions, sesame seeds, oyster sauce.
Oh, okay.
Sesame seed oil, a splash of soy sauce, and some chili flake. And she doesn't use Korean chili flake. She uses like Italian chili flake, like crushed peppers.
Oh, okay.
That you use in American cooking for some reason. And it's fucking delicious. And the only thing you have to worry about is use a good quality oyster sauce.
Okay.
Go to your Asian supermarket, get like a medium priced one, and you should be good. Like, don't get the cheapest one.
I was having that.
Don't get.
Oh, I was having that last night. I was having a taste off the oyster sauces and the sweet chili sauces that I had. And I'm like, you can tell a big difference from the H Mart brands to the Safeway brands.
Yes, definitely. So because like the main part of the dressing is oil, and don't add too much. Like add a little at a time. You need less than you think you
And it's
do.
cold.
And it's a cold dish. And also don't season it until after you put everything in it, because the oyster sauce is actually really salty. And soy sauce is salty. So add all of that, taste it. And then if you need a pinch of salt, go ahead and add it. But a lot of times you don't.
That's a good side.
Yeah, and it's bright, and it sounds weird that you're doing this oyster sauce Asian-y thing, but it actually works.
Yeah.
With all the other dishes, and you get this crunchy, textural, savory, salty, but still fresh side dish.
It's funny that, because I was thinking the same thing, like something that's like a little vinegary, a little spicy, a little, like, you know, it punches you in the face a little bit to cut through all that fatty stuff. Like, that's why I was saying like roasted, you know, because roasted cauliflower is kind of bland. I mean, it's not bland if you roast it properly, but cauliflower is bland. And it's just a good vehicle for whatever vinaigrette you want to put on it, right? Whatever sauce.
Yeah.
Like shit, even just a fucking spicy peanut sauce would be banging on that, you know, like.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, okay. Next question. And I want to Discord, the City That Breeds Discord page for these next couple. Someone named Lord of Funco Land asked, what are the best prep/protein options for a small Thanksgiving? Like a group of 4 or 5. None of us really like turkey, so we're trying to switch it up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. There are actually so many options. I mean, obviously not chicken, because that's kind of boring, and if you want something special occasion, I do like the Cornish game hen idea. That's
Me too.
Kind of nice.
There's ham.
Oh yeah. Ham is real good.
And ham is great because it's hard to overcook. I mean, you can do it, but it's hard because it's already brined.
Yeah. And you can get a half one, and the leftovers are so good, everyone will want to take some home.
Ham freezes really well. And there, you can put it in everything. It makes sandwiches, you know, bean soup. But like, you can do different stuff with it too. Like, I know there was a ham dish I used to make back in the day that was like Alton Brown's, where you basically make a slurry, a really thick slurry, like a spackle of ginger snaps and whiskey. And you put it on the outside of the ham and you bake it till it's a crust, and you keep intermittently spraying it with whiskey throughout the cook. And it's so fucking good. Like,
and
it's
a little for you, little
yeah,
for
no,
him.
it's exactly what I would do. Totally. But it's so good. And, you know, it becomes like a candy on the outside, and it's really good. Really good with sandwiches too, because you get that like gingery, you know, crispy stuff, even though like by the time you get the sandwiches, that stuff's kind of like mushy, but you could scrape it off and then mix it in. What I got tired of, like all the mushy stuff, I just kind of mixed it with mayonnaise and made like a ginger snap mayonnaise. It was really good.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's like ginger snaps and brown sugar and whiskey is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many options to do a ham with and make it really festive. We did ham for Christmas several times in a row, and I do have a favorite ham brand, smoke company that raises their own pork, and it's like a Berkshire Buddha.
Who's it called?
Snake River Farms.
Okay.
And it's a little pricey, but it's fucking worth it, I have to tell you. And you can get a whole bone-in ham, which is what I used to do, even if it was just like 7 of us, and it really feeds like 20, because the leftovers are so damn good. But it's like the brine is just right. The smoke is just right. It's not too smoky. The pork is like perfectly fatty, a lot more flavor and moisture than kind of your regular supermarket ham. But if you just want to get a supermarket ham, like, you can zhuzh it up. There's so many options. We do the classic, the pineapple fish sauce caramel.
Oh.
And it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Fish sauce, brown sugar, pineapple juice, and then of course we go classic with the pineapple rings and the
How have I never heard about? How have you never told me about this?
Dude, there was one Christmas I made it. I definitely told you about it. There is an episode where I talked about this fucking ham because I was obsessed with this ham.
Sounds like you're filthy.
Are we gonna have to go into the archives?
This
sir?
sounds like a coconut custard pie situation. You've been holding it back.
But yeah, like there's so many options that you could do glaze wise, and it's a wonderful centerpiece. And if you're worried about that still being too big, is you know how like you have the whole ham and you kind of have like the fat part, like the butt part, and then you have the part that's like closer to the foot, like the shank.
Yeah.
They have like both sides cut in half, and so you can get like the smaller one.
Okay.
And use that. Yeah, so you can definitely find that at your local supermarket or find a vendor to use online. It might be too late though.
The only thing I would say would be don't get pre-spiralized ham. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Because it's garbage. It dries it out so much.
It does dry out.
I have in I think the last couple because I just couldn't find one I've gotten, but I hate it. There's something about the texture of a pre-spiralized ham when it cooks. Yeah. You know, it gets really weird up at the top.
Yeah, it's definitely the last choice. And I usually, if I do that, I'm wrapping it in foil while it's reheating and then just finishing it like for like the last half hour.
I will say this.
Open.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
I'm done.
No, I'm done. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm done. Okay, goodbye.
Bye, everyone. No, I would say honestly, and this is no bullshit. I know you don't like turkey, but maybe you like fake turkey. A tofurkey, like the tofurkey football, is a perfect amount of food for 4 or 5 people. It's so good. No. It tastes like TV dinner turkey. It's good. It's got wild rice stuffing in it. It's really good.
I like that you poo-pooed on pre-spiralized ham, and now you're suggesting
tofurkey is high class.
Tofurkey?
Thank you. Tofurkey's great. I like it because it reminds me of TV dinners, but it's really good. The stuffing inside of it's banging, by the way.
No offense. I'm sure it's tasty, but there's no way meat eaters would choose to eat a meat alternative as their main Thanksgiving course.
Well, they don't like turkey, so I mean, honestly, then the other thing would be like if you just did like a small rib roast.
Oh yeah, fancy.
Which I do a rib roast for Christmas, but you could do like small rib roast and some, what are the? Damn it, my brain's not working right now.
Popovers.
Popovers, yeah. Or just have just make yourself some brown and serve rolls and just fucking have that. But yeah, because steak could go
rack of lamb. That's festive.
Rack of lamb's really good too. Like you can get a small rack of lamb.
Tasty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't have to be like a whole crown cut. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. You could even do a fish. I mean, like if you, but for fish, I think you got to go fancy and you got to go whole fish.
Oh, definitely.
Right? Like you got to buy a whole motherfucking fish and roast a whole fish, or even better, deep fry a whole fish.
Oh God. Delicious.
When you score those fucking things and then deep fry them, hit it with some vinaigrette when it comes out. Jesus Christ in heaven, it's so good. Yeah.
So you got lots of options, all the meat options.
Yeah, I mean,
a big pork chop roast.
I get not liking turkey.
Pork roast. Yeah.
And
I get it.
I would also say, maybe try turkey a different way. If maybe you don't like turkey because you haven't had a good one or someone hasn't properly made it, or and then just start small, not on Thanksgiving, but like just by yourself, like get a turkey breast and brine it, and then that kind of thing. See what happens. Ben Pocalypse.
Yeah, I mean, and don't feel like you have to be like stick with Thanksgiving.
Yeah, totally.
It's Thanksgiving. I feel like because fuck the pilgrims, but Thanksgiving is really, I feel like, an excuse to get together with your family.
Yeah, order a bunch of Thai food.
And that's the tradition. Hell yeah. Make whatever the fuck you want. Have an Italian Thanksgiving. Have a Korean Thanksgiving.
Eat a bunch of cereal. It just, as long as you guys are all sitting around fucking bullshitting and having fun together, that's really all that matters.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ben.
All right. What's next?
Ben Apocalypse asks, why are Thanksgiving leftovers so much better than day of Thanksgiving food? I will go first on this one. And I think it's just because it gives you an excuse to make a giant mess of food all together that you're basically one step away from just putting it in a blender and slurping it down.
Yeah.
Because you're hungover.
Yeah.
And fatty, rich food is awesome the next day.
It really is. And for some reason, I tend to, when I'm eating leftovers, if I'm not making like a sandwich or whatever, I'll put it all in a bowl.
All in a bowl. That's exactly what I do. Yep.
So it's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like KFC's famous bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. Or I've been known to do like breakfast, like doing like hash with it or whatever's, doing a big mix or even doing potato pancakes with the potatoes and like frying those up. Yeah, I don't know why it's so good. I was going to say, like, we know, like, stews and things are good because it's always better when it sits overnight, but I don't necessarily know why.
You could do, like, I've done, like, a weird small shepherd's pie where you just kind of mix turkey and gravy and
that is good.
Like, the stuffing together and then put that in the bottom. And then, if you have corn or whatever, you can add that too. And then, put the potatoes on top and then bake that. And then it's just Thanksgiving, Yeah. I'm starting to get really fucking hungry.
It's just good. Sometimes you don't need an explanation. It's just fucking good.
Yeah, totally. All right. Last but not least, Liz G asks, I would love historical Thanksgiving food. What was it like on a 1923? She said, I would love a historical Thanksgiving food. Like, what was on a 1923 Thanksgiving menu? Question.
Ooh, okay. Good question. Very good.
And guess what? I have an answer.
You have the answer.
I did. I researched a bunch of 1923 Thanksgiving dinner menus. I found a few.
I wish there were pictures.
I do. I have a picture for you. I'm going to run through it with you.
What? Yeah. Yes. All right.
Because I knew you would like this as much as I did. So, first off, Thanksgiving Day, we're looking at an old menu from the USS New York, which was stationed at San Pedro, California. Thanksgiving Day, November 29, 1923. So it was November 29th, 1923. So this is like
a printed out little menu.
Yeah, they got it. It's an old, paper, looks like maybe manila or something. They got a turkey printed on the front, USS New York at the San Pedro, California. Then the next page is like a pilgrim who's got a turkey next to him. He's got a gun. He's about to take that motherfucker out.
It's like an illustration.
Yeah, it's like a drawing.
It's not an actual picture of a pilgrim.
No. It's a drawing. Yeah, it's 1923. But they do have a photograph underneath of the USS New York, and apparently R.C. Moody is the commanding captain of the USS New York. So this is their menu. It starts out with sweet pickles and radishes. So, okay, remember pickles. This is a big thing. Pickles were a really big thing back then as an appetizer. Sweet pickles.
Are we talking like a bread and butter type sweet pickle?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking if they're saying sweet pickles.
Okay.
Radishes, celery en branch, which I'm assuming is just celery stalks.
Okay.
And then probably some sort of dip that they have for those things, Then they have young roast turkey that is served with bread dressing, giblet gravy, cranberry sauce, and baked spiced ham. Okay.
Wow. Very classic.
Yeah. Then they also have baked sweet potatoes, pineapple sauce, cauliflower au gratin, and then buttered peas. Ooh, then for first dessert, they have fruit salad or pumpkin pie. And then ice cream cigars, which that sounds interesting, or coconut cake cigarettes. And then at the end is coffee. And then we got to give a shout out to A.T. Flynn, who is the chief commissary steward, who is probably the guy who came up with the menu. How fucking cool is that?
I think it's ice cream, coconut cake, or coconut pop. Yeah, ice cream, coconut cake, cigars, and cigarettes.
You think so?
I don't think it's ice cream, cigars, and coconut cake, cigarettes. Yeah.
You think so?
But it's funny that they put cigars and cigarettes on the menu.
But they're so close.
What's the?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right because cauliflower gratin. Yeah, I read that wrong. Huh? Yeah, I'm a dummy. Well, why would they put? I guess that's how you end the. I guess that's how you end the dinner.
I guess so. They know they get a treat.
To be fair, the ice cream,
a super treat.
The ice cream and the coconut cake should have been up with the fruit salad and the pie. So like,
it really should have.
After every course, there are 3 diamonds. Just to let everybody know what I'm looking at. I'll post this on the Facebook page. But every course is separated by 3 diamonds and 2 dots to let it go. And that's why I read it. Ice cream, cigars, and coconut cake cigarettes. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, does it? The cigars, you could be like, okay, ice cream cigars, I get it. They could just shape that.
Yeah,
but the coconut cake cigarettes.
Sure.
It was 100 years ago. Like, but it's crazy to think that
exactly 100 years ago.
It was 100 years ago. So this is 100 years ago. In 13 days, it will be exactly 100 years ago that the people on board the USS New York had this dinner. But it's not so far away from what you and I were talking about today.
Yeah,
dressing,
not at all.
Turkey, gravy, cranberry sauce, sweet potatoes, cauliflower.
The sweet potato gratin is a great idea.
Cauliflower
the
gratin.
Pineapple sauce sounds good for the ham.
The what? The pineapple sauce?
The pineapple sauce, yeah, sounds good. I guess that goes with the ham.
What's the traditional red pineapple sauce? That's just like maraschino cherry liqueur and pineapple juice, right?
Yeah.
That people glaze their ham with? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Well, brown sugar. Well, no, it's not even the juice. It's brown sugar and pineapple juice. A lot of times they don't use the pineapple juice. It's straight brown sugar that turns into a sauce.
But I'm talking about the red stuff that they glaze it with.
Oh, I don't know.
That sometimes you get with like sweet and sour shrimp and shit.
Oh.
Isn't that just cherry juice and pineapple juice?
No, their sweet and sour sauce. I think that's food dye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've seen recipes where they've good.
Yeah, like the Chinese like barbecue, like a lot of times they do that glaze and the outside is red on the pork.
Sure.
And stuff like that's food dye.
Oh yeah, I know that's food dye.
Yeah.
But I've seen where because people used to when they would make hams, they would skewer cherries on the outside.
Yeah.
So you'd have maraschino cherries on the outside, and then you would just take the maraschino cherry juice and mix it with pineapple.
Yeah. I don't think that juice though
cook it down to a syrup
enough. Because when you cook it, it kind of goes away.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But all right, well, let's move on.
Putting the cherries and pineapples on hams. Delicious.
So I also have a from November 1st, 1923 from the magazine called The Farmer's Wife. And I'm just going to go through this. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is an excerpt. So they talk about the preparations for the Thanksgiving began 2 weeks ago when Aunt Min made black-eyed. So she's black-eyed, rosy cheeks. She's been working her ass off. She made 30 pies that then had to be frozen. So because they're saying, according to some New England cooks, improve the flavor of the pies once they're reheated, which makes sense because I guess they didn't realize that when you freeze things and then thaw it out, all the fruit weeps. Yeah. So when you cook it, it really creates a better syrup,
saucy.
Right? So then they're talking about they butcher stuff after the first freeze. So the pork loin's ready to bake, as well as the turkey, the duck, the goose, the chicken. That stuff was dressed days ago.
How many people they feeding?
Dude, wait till you see this fucking menu. It's nuts. So they have they can hens. They're canning goose and chicken as well, which are ready to be turned into chicken pies. Dressing for the salad is always on hand, just waiting for cream to be added because, they did a lot of creamy dressings back then. Sweet pickles and jelly were made in September. Cranberry jelly may be made ahead. So after all, there is not much to do so at the last minute. I'm sorry, this sounds weird, but I promise you I'm reading it the way it's written. It's just a different kind of writing. Many New England families still hold to the fashion of an over-bountiful Thanksgiving dinner, unashamed of serving more than is needed, unhampered by such modern restriction as a kitchenette, tin can, delicatessen, calories. Such as a full menu, they have as this that follows when they really do it up brown. Okay. I don't know what that means. Is that slang? They do it up brown. So, okay.
Is that how they talk back then?
I have no idea. So this is what they basically would serve. Oyster soup, pickles, crackers, roast chicken. I say crackers because crackers weren't a thing that you could just go buy. Crackers were a thing you had to make, right? Like, which, have you ever made crackers?
No, Lila has though.
Fucking pain in the ass.
Homemade crackers, yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of work for crackers, right? So,
but they're good.
No, they're great. Oyster soup, pickles, crackers, roast chicken, turkey, duck or goose, roast loin of pork, chicken pie, cranberry jelly or a conserve, mashed potatoes, buttered onions, mashed turnip, squash or sweet potatoes, cabbage, salad, mince, whatever meat, pumpkin and apple pie, rice pudding, cheese and apples, nuts, raisins, and then coffee. Like that was traditionally what they would generally do as a giant blowout dinner, right? No, it's crazy. From this glorious abundance, it's easy to subtract enough for a simpler festive meal. So then they just picked a couple things. Soup, roast turkey, chicken, cranberry sauce, relish, potatoes, sweet or white, and then any vegetable. I still find it funny that they're doing roast turkey and chicken on their let's cut it down menu. And then they just give us some recipes. Salad dessert, which is really funny. They do they talk about some different things, the grapefruits and stuff, but then they give us Min's pumpkin pie, Min's tomato mincemeat, which is really interesting. Like it's chopped green tomatoes, apples, sugar, salt pork, raisins, currants, clove, ground allspice, cinnamon, boiled cider. And then you mix all that stuff and cook it down. And like, so you got green tomatoes, like it's going to be sweet, right? The green tomatoes are what's going to give it its body because there's so much pectin in green tomatoes, which also gives you that like, instead of
and apples,
but the tomatoes are there instead of, cause there's no vinegar in this, right? So the tomatoes gives you the, that, do you need me to
boiled cider? There's boiled cider in there. That is so weird. That is definitely like fucking British influence.
Oh, without a doubt.
Right there. Well, mincemeat, yeah.
And then scalloped sweet potatoes with apple, which, it's real funny.
Sounds good.
I like that they use the word Thanksgiving. I'm like, okay, 100 years ago, like that's gotta be like pretty hardcore slang.
I know. Yeah, it says sweet potatoes seem especially Thanksgiving-y. It's also crazy that when did sweet potatoes become Thanksgiving-y? Obviously prior to 1923. Very cool.
And it seems like potato hasn't taken over. Or, okay, so the sweet potato dish, like, let's see. They got sour apples and sweet potato, sprinkle with sugar, cover. Yeah, it's not like it's not overly sweet. So basically you're slicing them into rounds and you're layering them. It's scalloped. So you're layering it down, then a little bit of sugar on top of the apples, then sweet potatoes, then salt and pepper, then butter, then a little bit of sugar, and then more apples, and then, you know, keep going. Bake 45. Nice. Yeah, that's crazy.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it does. Then cabbage salad they give a recipe for, which is pretty bananas, you know.
Is that like just coleslaw?
Let's see. Oh, geez. 1 cup sugar, mustard, salt, 2 eggs, hard cooked, strong vinegar, cayenne, a cup of cream that you whip, about a bunch of cabbage. So no, that's coleslaw. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, sounds like a southern kind of
creamy
sweet coleslaw.
Yeah. They call it cabbage salad. That's funny.
Yeah.
And then
I'm going to start calling it that from now on.
Yeah, cabbage salad. Makes it sound fancy.
Cabbage salad. It sounds healthy.
Hey, you want some coleslaw? As opposed to, excuse me, would you like some cabbage salad? Yeah, totally different. Yeah, so it's really interesting. I'll just say this. I'll read this last paragraph because I find it interesting. We add the intrinsic and meaningless odors of spices and flavoring, forgetting that odor, no less than music, hath occasions. Each of the materials has its own odor that the discriminating cook will try to bring out its best expression. I think that one reason why persons enjoy the simple cooking of farmers and sailors and other elemental folk is because of its comparative lack of disguise, although they may not be aware of the merit of it. So let us use our best skill to prepare wholesome, simple, and for this high festival in wholesome, simple ways, and keep the festival in our thankful hearts. You know, yeah, it's interesting. It's like, these things, the smells and the flavors are the things that we keep in our hearts. And once a year, we break these things out to remember those times. You know, because this is really...
Don't get crazy.
Right.
Keep it simple.
And that's what we were talking about. Going old school.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because we're getting old and we just want that. Or maybe it's just the times. You know? Who knows?
Yeah. It's comforting. I mean, for me, it's comfort. It's familiar. And it's kind of easy because, like,
well, I think that's part of it too. It's just easy.
Yeah,
I think next year we should do punk rock Christmas and Thanksgiving and just do fucking wild shit
with like real fucked up shit. Yeah, that would be.
But by that, like, we just get together, not with our families, because our families would fucking kill us.
Revolt. Yeah, we can do.
What do you mean you're having snake?
We could do Friendsgiving, fucked up Friendsgiving.
Oh, that would be great. Hey, by the way, there's a sandwich I found out about the other day that we need to talk about because it's only a thing that you and me and maybe Okan would eat.
Okay.
It's called a Lampredetto sandwich.
Oh, never heard of it.
It's it's fucking crazy. We'll talk later.
Okay.
Maybe that'd be its own fucking episode. Who knows?
Ooh.
But there you go, everybody. Thanks for everyone who wrote in and asked questions. Thank you for all the idiots that wrote, things that I thought were questions and then read it and went, ugh, okay, I get it. All the people that just wrote in, just making a joke. You made me laugh. Thank you. And thank you for everyone on the Discord for the City That Breeds. I really appreciate you guys joining in too. Evan would be proud of you. And that's it. We hope you have a really good Thanksgiving. If you're by yourself, or you're not celebrating it, I get it. I hope you have a peaceful day. If you're celebrating it and you're really into it and you're having family, or if you're by yourself, or if you're just with friends, I hope you enjoy it regardless. No matter what, we love you and we hope you have a peaceful day. So with that said, thank you for listening to the Rude Cooking School podcast. You can rate and review us anywhere you find us. It makes a difference. thank you. Tell your friends. Tell your family. And I will see you next week with an episode that I actually don't know what's coming out next week. So it'll be a surprise to all of us. So I will see you next week. I'm John Hauser III. Don't yuck my yum.
And I'm Jeni Peck. Go get yourself a turkey dildo. Bye.
Yep.